Last night, Chris Sale was not going to let Mother Nature rain on his parade as he continued his dominance on the mound, posting his third straight victory. He gone! Yes! He gone!
99. That's probably the fastest pitch that Chris has thrown this year.
Tonight, rookie southpaw Carlos Rodon looks to follow suit as he tries to build off his last two starts. He'll have his work cut out for him as he goes head-to-head with early American League Cy Young candidate Dallas Keuchel. We are coming to you from the city beautiful Chicago, Illinois, where tonight Comcast Sportsnet Plus presents White Sox baseball. It's Jose Abreu, Melky Cabrera, Abacio Garcia, Adam LaRoche and the Sox as they get set to butt heads with A.J. Hinch's Houston Astros. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Ken Harrelson with Steve Stone as we get set to bring you game 2 of this 3-game set. As you know, in the opener last night, if you missed that, you missed one of the best games we have seen Chris Sale pitch. He was just awesome. 14 strikeouts at the slider was just unbelievable. And we sent our best against a talented youngster last evening. Tonight, it's just the opposite.
Well, Lance McCullers went to the mound last night against Chris Sale, our number 1 against their promising youngster. Tonight, our promising youngster, Carlos Rodon, goes to the mound against their number 1, Dallas Keuchel. And Carlos lately has been close to unhittable. Take a look at the last 2 starts, 12 in the third, 2 earned runs, 14 strikeouts, 3 walks. He's had 4 no decisions in a row, despite the fact that he's starting to get the ball over the plate. He's got 2 different sliders. He's going to be a terrific pitcher. He's a very good pitcher right now.
Well, we've been looking for some runs, and we got one guy that's hopefully getting ready to heat it up big time.
Abacio Garcia is hitting the daylights out of the ball, so much so that he's hit 3 home runs his last 4 games. And the fact that he's heating it up, hopefully the guys around him will start to do the same thing. Without him last night, we might still be playing, but he hit the definitive 2-run homer. And lately, he's taken the ball to right field, center field, and occasionally to left field. So it's nice to see him, after missing most of last year, heating it up, and hopefully the offense comes to life.
Well, last time out against us, he set a career high in strikeouts against our Sox. So tonight we're looking for a little payback against Dallas Keuchel. So sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. Audi, truth in engineering. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. And by Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome back to beautiful U.S. Cellular Field on an absolutely gorgeous night for baseball. It's 86 degrees, not a cloud in the sky, as Sox will send Carlos Rodon in search of his second win against the Astros, who happen to lead in the AL West. Let's take a look at how A.J. Hinch is going to line up his Astros tonight. George Springer leading it off with Jose Altuve in the 2 spot. Evan Gattis, the DH, and it's Preston Tucker, the left-handed left fielder. Chris Carter, Carlos Correa, who had his first hit and first run batted in of his career last night, Hank Conger, Luis Valbuena, and Jake Marisnick rounded out the defense, and how they'll line up behind Carlos Rodon. Melky Cabrera, Adam Eaton, and Avisail Garcia in the outfield. With Gordon Beckham, Lexi Ramirez, Emilio Bonifacio, and Jose Abreu in the infield. Tyler Flowers gets a nod behind the plate, and our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Carlos Rodon. He's on for his 6th start, his 9th game overall. He's 1-0 with ERA a shrinking 3.12. He's gotten the ball over very well the last couple of times out. He's got 4 no decisions consecutively. And he doesn't want to go for Jose Quintana's league record in that department. The umpires for the game tonight, the crew chief Larry Vanover is behind the plate. Toby Bassner is at first base. Brian Knight is at second base, and Vic Carapazza is at third. So, as Robin tries to figure out a way to generate a few runs, he realizes that Dallas Keuchel is going to be a tough customer. He was absolutely brilliant against us in Houston. So they throw the ball around the infield, which means we're ready to play baseball, and I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
Hi, Steve. Thank you. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox Baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet Plus. I hope you could join us for Game 2 of this 3-game set. And this will be the 5th meeting of the year between these two clubs. The first 4, our Sox have won 3 of them. So here's Springer, first pitch, taken for a ball. Springer comes in hitting at .236, 8 homers. He's driven in 19. And the count 2-0. Astros hitting at .234 as a club with a 3.64 team ERA. There's a good strike.
Here's a look at A.J. Hinch, who's a manager for his second time around.
That's into center field. That's a can of corn. And that's out number 1.
Tyler Flowers going out to the mound to talk with Carlos, probably telling him about Altuve and how he likes the first pitch. He jumped on a couple of them last night. And this is an odd Houston offense. They hit the ball out of the park. They can run. However, they're last in the league offensively in batting average.
Well, they have exactly twice as many home runs as we do.
And they got some guys who can hit the ball a long way.
Chasing that first pitch. He has faced Rodon 3 times, has a couple of hits. Yanks that one foul, and very quickly they count 0-2.
He's our number 1 base stealer. He swiped 17 bases, been caught 6 times overall. The Astros have swiped 48. They've been caught 15 times. There you see the disparity from right to left-hander.
And it'll be off his foot. And cracks his bat.
Best thing about the last 2 starts for Rodon is 2 starts ago he didn't walk anybody. Last start he walked 3, but his control was still pretty good. And if he consistently harnesses that, he's going to be very tough to deal with. And as you can see, the last time he pitched in Houston, went 6 1/3, gave up 8 hits, but only 1 earned run and didn't walk anybody with those 4 strikeouts.
Garcia short out there in right field. Takes that one up high, so 1-2 the count. But just a beautiful evening here in the city. Beautiful.
And despite the fact that Chris Sale got Altuve twice, he's still one of the toughest guys in baseball to strike out. Just 26 strikeouts, 237 at-bats. And Sale's stuff was so good last night when he got 14 strikeouts that he got the little guy 2 different times.
There's a changeup. That pitch is off the plate. And a full count. Got him listed at 5'6".
And there are the 2 starters, Chris Sale and Lance McCullers. Chris Sale just out of this world. McCullers with just a whole lot of promise at 21 years old.
Got one of the best right-handed sliders we've seen in a long time.
He was difficult to deal with. Unfortunately, he made the one mistake on a fastball, got a little too much of the plate. Hobby hit it out in right field, but there you look at the numbers. He was pretty impressive overall. Didn't walk anybody with 7 strikeouts.
One hopper. Alexei's got him. 2 down. Well, that was just good old-fashioned baseball last night. Got 2 good talents out there. Absolutely dealing. Colors throwing 97, a couple times 98. Chris throwing 97, 98, one time 99.
Wasn't a real good night to be a hitter with those 2 guys out there.
Well, those 2 guys were lucky last night because guys just didn't feel like hitting. That's the way Sandy Koufax was his whole career. They call a lot of people call him the luckiest pitcher ever lived. Seems like every time he pitched, the other team just didn't want to hit.
Well, that's lately what Chris Sale has been like. The last 4 times out, he's had double digits in strikeouts. It's never happened in the history of the White Sox. His slider has become the weapon of the last few years when nobody could touch it.
I was driving home last night and I was thinking about the greatest stuff I've ever seen to this day, and that, of course, is Sam McDowell. Sudden Sam McDowell. He had a great slider, but his slider was not as good as Chris Sale's.
No, Sam had overwhelming stuff.
Gaddis pops it up. Tyler coming back.
Chris Sale joined Sandy Koufax as the only major league pitcher since 1900 with 3 straight starts of 12-plus strikeouts and no or 1 run allowed. First pitcher in the modern era with at least 10 strikeouts and 4 straight starts, while increasing his total with each outing. Chris Sale, now that he's got the slider back and now that he's feeling 100% after missing most of spring training, has been unbelievable.
And that 0-2 pitch fouled away.
What Sale did last night to Gaddis, he got ahead of him and then threw a face-high fastball and he struck him out. Gaddis went down swinging twice, but he wasn't the Lone Ranger.
And he hits that one right side for the base hit. So the 2-out single. And here's Preston Tucker. 24 years old, hitting at .263. A couple of homers, he's driven in 9.
His brother was drafted in the first round by the same Astros with the 5th pick overall. Well, I think the Tucker brothers are ecstatic to be reunited. By all indications, his brother has a little bit higher ceiling. But Preston's a good, solid hitter.
Two-0 pitch. Just a little bit low.
Kyle Tucker out of Plant High School in Tampa. They love his athleticism and the fact that he's got a little bit of growth left as a very young player.
So he walks him, and with 2 out, they have 2 on. Well, he's got some pop. He had 24 home runs last year. He had 25 the year before.
He showed us in Houston he's a pretty good hitter. Played pretty decent left field. And here's a man can hit him a long way.
I was talking with Chris before the game. He just looks like he continues to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
He's real big.
There's that pitch downstairs. He comes in hitting at 195, but 10 homers and 30 knocked in. And he has faced Carlos 2 times, and he has 2 hits.
I want to be careful with that particular location to Carter because he loves the ball down. Our Menards pitch tracks will show you that it's a fastball and it's about thigh high.
Yeah, you don't want him swinging down on the ball. You want him swinging up at the ball. Two on, 2 out, the 2-1. That ball hit hard into left field. Melky, yes! Stayed right with it, made the commitment, made the catch, and that'll retire the side. A beautiful catch by Melky Cabrera. After having a play, it's the Astros nothing and the good guys coming to bat.
Windsor Cable in New Windsor, Illinois. So let's take a look at how Robin is going to line up our Sox for the game tonight. Adam Eaton leading it off with Lexi Ramirez in the 2 spot. That's Jose Abreu, Avisail Garcia, Giovanni Soto, Melky Cabrera, Gordon Beckham, Tyler Flowers, and Emilio Bonifacio getting the start at second base. The defense, and how they'll line up behind Dallas Keuchel, it's Tucker, Marisnik, and Springer in the outfield with Valbuena, Correa, Altuve, and Carter, with Hank Conger behind the plate.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours, as here is Adam Eaton. Takes first pitch strike. That one at 89.
You'd love to be able to get Keuchel in the first couple of innings because he is a sinker baller. He throws mostly ground balls, and early in the game, they turn into line drives.
Nice play by Val Bueno.
Our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is the aforementioned Dallas Keuchel, who's 7-1, his ERA 185. Left-handers hitting just 123 against him. He's allowed only 3 home runs, and that is the best percentage of fewest home runs thrown in all of baseball.
Here's Alexei. He was 0 for 3 last night. A little soft comeback. So very quickly, 2 down.
Keuchel is a great example of how you can get a pitcher a little lower in the draft, and he can turn into gold for you. He was a 7th-round draft pick. That's probably because he didn't light up the radar gun, but as so many have found out before him, you don't have to light it up if you have a good late-moving fastball. In his case, it's a sinker, and you see a lot of the hitters just hitting the top of the baseball and beating it into the dirt.
Well, I love guys usually from the 8th to the 15th, 16th round. I always love those guys because they had to compete.
This guy falls into that category because he didn't throw a whole lot harder because he's young enough still, but the movement is what gets it off the sweet spot.
Well, if you give me the good competitor who was drafted in the 8th to the 15th or the 7th to the 16th round, so to speak, and he happens to get lucky enough to get with the right pitching coach who can give him a little movement as there's the strike, who can maybe tweak him here a little, tweak him there, so he has the opportunity to compete, then you're talking about something.
Take a look at the record. It's going to get a whole lot better because Houston's going to get a whole lot better.
Abreu pops it way high, and that didn't take long. 1, 2, 3, and after 1, no score.
Game brought to you by Miller Lite.
And a reminder, tomorrow at 6:30, join CSN for the best Stanley Cup final coverage in town, starting with Blackhawks pregame live on CSN Plus. Then flip over to CSN after Game 4 for player and coach reaction, highlights, and much, much more on Blackhawks postgame live. That's Stanley Cup final Game 4 coverage starting tomorrow at 6:30 on CSN Plus. Here's Carlos Correa, 20-year-old shortstop who made his major league debut last night. He went 1 for 4 with an RBI. Takes first pitch strike. And that is souvenir time. Right side. 0-2. He gone.
The Rodon slider is late breaking, and it's also very good. Keeps that ball inside. Correa swinging over the top of it. And not much of a chance in that particular at bat. So youngster's going to have a few pitchers taking advantage of him early. And he's going to figure it out because he's awfully talented.
Well, he's not going to be always facing the sliders that he saw last night and so far tonight.
No, he's not. Both these guys are special.
Here's Hank Conger, switch hitting catcher, hitting at 200. He was 0 for 3 last night.
That last pitch was a changeup, and I love to see Carlos mixing that one in. If he just establishes the fact that he can get that pitch over, then it's going to be impossible to sit on his slider or fastball.
Well, being a rookie, he's probably not going to call his own game, so we got to hope the Tyler will miss a few in there, mix a few in there. One and two the count.
Carlos working quickly, which gives you the feeling that he's pretty happy with his stuff tonight. He wasn't happy with the walk to Tucker. He felt left-hander to left-hander. Probably should have gotten him out.
That ball hit hard into left field. Malcolm fighting those lights. Stays with it, makes the catch, 2 down. Well, it's that old saying. You wait on the hitter. Don't make the hitter wait on you as a pitcher.
Well, he's up and ready to go. We saw how well it worked for both Chris Sale and Lance McCullers last night. And Carlos Rodon is certainly right in the same league, and Dallas Keuchel worked very quickly when we face him in Houston. We expect more of the same here tonight.
Here's Valbuena, 12 homers he has. He's always hit well against us.
He's really taken advantage of the Crawford boxes in left field, a short porch in Minute Maid Park.
He's 275 hitter with 5 homers against us. And a lot of those have hurt. Those 19. Oh, yeah. That'll buckle your knees.
Yeah, I don't think Luis is going to handle that one particularly well. Take a look at those knees.
Just got a piece of it. A lot of foul balls off Carlos.
Yeah, a few of these Astros have had extended at bats. He's now delivered 41 pitches. That's a lot in the early going.
Now Altuve, last inning. High pop up. Over by the. And he just misread it.
This ball actually stays in play, but it drifts away. And that will most likely go as no play.
Once again, the 2-2. He gone. 1, 2, 3 inning. Couple of strikeouts after an inning and a half, no score.
And the White Sox. He says, him being from Lakeland, I look up to him. I know they have Samardzija and Rodon, just a bunch of guys I watch pitch, and a lot that I have so much respect for and look up to them. I definitely want to be next to them someday. I'm anxious to meet the coaching staff and learn from those guys. And by all estimations, it's not going to take all that long, as the White Sox have shown in years past. If you can do it, they don't keep you waiting around. They will bring you here and give you an opportunity.
Well, Kenny Williams and Ozzie Guillen, they were not afraid to throw youngsters in that lineup. In 05, how many times we had Shingo Takatsu, Dustin Hermanson, and then the big boy, a rookie. How many general managers and managers are going to make that move? Bobby Jinks. There's a base hit. All right. Bobby.
He did what you have to do against a sinker balling left-hander, and that is take the ball the opposite way. If you try to pull the ball at the sinking away from you, you're going to hit the ball to the left side. But he stays right with it, drives it over the head of Altuve, and he picked the right guy to hit it over his head.
Well, certainly there's no definitive formula for hitting major league pitching. But in all my years, as you've heard me say many, many times, in the perfect world for me, if you get right-handers to beat left-handed pitchers to right field and left-handed hitters beat right-handed pitchers to left field, that is as close about as it comes. That solves a lot of problems.
Well, you don't roll over and you don't beat that ball into the ground and have the infield pick it.
And you don't think mechanics because you're thinking approach. And there's another base hit. So Springer will get it back in.
Sox are not going to run too much on Springer or Marisnik. They probably will run on Tucker, as Gio, the designated hitter tonight, takes it the opposite way. So 2 up, 2 base hits, and 2 on and nobody out.
Here's Melky. Melky, a big RBI last night. Got us on the board in the second inning.
He let that ball get inside on him and didn't have the head of the bat out. Now, Melky does have a sacrifice this year. He wants to bunt it. but he drops the head of the bat. When that happens, the technique isn't there. He's not used to bunting a whole lot. Good idea, however.
Oh boy. Milwaukee has faced Keuchel 11 times, has 4 hits. But he has been in a funk, and he has been hitting into hard luck now for a month. And there's a base hit. They're going to hold him now at third as a good throw by Tucker.
Bunt sign off. This changeup is low and out of the zone. Melky does a nice job of staying back, taking into left field. It's hit so hard that there's no reason to gamble with Avi, but it loads him up with nobody out and 3-line drive.
There's the benefit of Melky was thinking hitting that ball to the right side. Now he gets the changeup, and instead of yanking it foul, he's able to hit it hard and keep it fair because his mechanics, without him thinking about him, will go into the right side.
3-line drives and a chance to break through against a guy who set a career high in strikeouts while shutting out the Sox in Houston.
Here's Gordon. First pitch always in this scenario big, and it goes Beckham's way. High pop up, center field. Marisnick. Now he's not going anywhere, and a good thing.
Now, we told you that you're not going to run on Marisnick for sure. You're not going to run on Springer, and that time Gordon didn't get it far enough.
So with 1 out, Sox pack. Let's check out our text to click. There you see Jaman Joe, our director of crew, Adam Eaton. Steve's going with Gordon Beckham. And Cherry Hanley, Mike Williams, Eric Aldrich, Roger Clare, and I. We're going to go with Tyler Flowers, a man at the plate right now. Oh, I won the count.
Time now for AT&T Uverse Multiview. The good speed at third, decent speed at first. Gio at second, and Melky's got a job to do because Keuchel throws a lot of ground balls. And on a ground ball in the infield, if you can break up 2, you can force home a run.
The 0-2 pitch, checks it up.
Career with the bases loaded, Tyler has not done very well.
Two down.
He got on top and then threw one out of the zone. That's his breaking ball. It's somewhere between a curve and a slider, and a nice job by Hank Conger as he smothered it. So from bases loaded, nobody out. It's gone to bases loaded and 2 outs with Emilio Bonifacio with a chance to break through against Dallas Keuchel.
Bonifacio hitting at 200. And that'll retire the side. Satch pack, nobody out. And we'll go to the third, no score.
Steven Spielberg returns to executive produce the long-awaited next installment of the Jurassic Park series, Jurassic World, opening in theaters on Friday.
Here's Marisnik. Jake hitting at .259. 4 homers, 17 knocked in.
Marisnik is rated as one of the most athletic players on the team, but they were having a hard time finding a place for him to play. They've settled on center field, and he can go get him.
Nice. 1 out. So here's George Springer. He went out to Adam Eaton in center field. And that's trouble. That'll be his 12th two-bagger.
First ball fastball, and he got it on the inner portion. Now Tyler wants it away, and Springer hits the daylights out of it. And George has pretty big speed out at second base.
So here's Altuve. After a long at bat, he grounded out hard to Alexei. First pitch strike.
With runners in scoring position, Altuve, one of the tougher guys around. 333, 3 home runs, 23 driven in. Those are big numbers for the team leader, Jose Altuve.
One and one. Attaboy. Three and one the count.
Want to be careful here because you do have a double play man up next.
That slider grabs the strike.
Two high sliders at the top of the zone. Takes a little something off.
He gone. 2 out.
Two sliders, the second of which is that hard slider. Nice play by Tyler Flowers as he stops the ball, and Altuve, for the third time in 2 nights, a strikeout victim. Very rare for him.
So here's Evan Gattis. They had a modified shift on for him back in the first inning with 2 out, and he just ripped a single through second base. Slider strike.
You don't mind trying to get Gattis out of the strike zone here because you do have a left-hander in the on-deck circle in Tucker.
Yes, he did. And the count 0-2.
Toby Basner said he did indeed, and there's that hard slider. Low and out of the zone, and once again Tyler Flowers with a nice job of blocking it.
That's yank foul.
At 0-2, you want to throw this one out of the zone. That ball caught the bottom part of the zone, and Gattis likes it low and in.
Well, you're better off catching the top part of the zone if you're going to try to do that rather than the bottom part. Bonifacio. Bonnie tucks it up, throws him out, so he pitches over. A double by Springer, and we'll go to the bottom of the third.
and it's Dallas Keuchel. He was Yale Pitcher of the Month for both April and May. Opponents hitting just 189. That's second. His whip, second. Wins, tied for second. Tied for second in complete games. Third in ERA, and first in home runs per 9 innings. Less than a third of home runs per 9 innings is Keuchel, who keeps most everything on the ground. Uncharacteristically, gave up 3 line drives to lead off that second inning, and nothing came of it.
That's what good pitchers do. First pitch strike to Adam Eaton. Yeah, you can see it a lot of the times in the body language, and you can feel it. There's a little chopper. Altuve had a hurry, and they just do get it.
He got that one there as Adam was in the air before he came down on the bag. So once again, yet another ground ball. Good play by Altuve, who's one of the best glove men around. Altuve with just 1 error this year in 59 games.
Here's Alexei. Yeah, but good pitchers, they give you that sense that they're not in trouble when they get the bases loaded and nobody out. Other guys, you couldn't pull a greased tee out of there behind with a pair of pliers.
Well, he certainly appeared to be very much in command, as he got Beckham, Flowers, and Bonifacio.
One, two. Altuve's got him.
Sox fans, come out for a specialty beer night on Thursday, June 18th. Sample up to 16 different beers and ciders with this $42 ticket package, which includes access to the tasting room from 5:40 to 7:30. And you also get a lower box game ticket. To purchase, visit whitesox.com/specialty.
So here's Jose. He popped up to Altuve.
It's early in the ball game, but 5 ground balls hit off Keuchel.
He's making his 13th start. And there's got to be a reason he's 7-1 with a 1.85 ERA.
But you can't hit the ball out of the park on him. And he doesn't fall behind too often. And he works quickly. And everything he throws moves. That's a real good combination.
That's into right field. Springer hardly had to move. Meanwhile, we have completed 3 and nobody has scored. for a rough and tumble Eastern Conference fight with a revolution. Coverage begins this Saturday at 6 on CSN Plus.
Pretty good night for that. 84 degrees still. Probably the nicest night we've had at the ballpark all year long. And that youngster is certainly taking advantage of the concessions.
Preston Tucker. He walked back in the first inning. That's the only base on balls issue by Rodon. One and one to count. Line drive, base hit in the center field.
Here's our Xfinity high-speed action replay. Came in the first inning off the bat of Chris Carter, and a great catch by Melky Cabrera. That was with 2 on and 2 out, and it got Carlos out of that inning. Good play by Melky.
And here is the big man.
Last time he pitched him down, and you don't want to stay down to him.
Two and 0 the count.
That one slipped out of Carlos's hands, and you could tell he looked down, realizing that he had lost the grip. Fortunately, Tyler was able to make that catch and make sure that Tucker stayed at first.
Pretty good lead.
One thing that doesn't make a great deal of sense, if you're going to get out there to a big lead, you can't be coming back to first when the pitch is coming home. Get out there to a shorter lead and make sure you're heading towards second as the pitch is heading home. A big lead will do you no good if you're going in the wrong direction. And they got a piece of it.
So trouble of brewing here in the top of the 4th inning. Nobody out and the first 2 men aboard.
The White Sox have dedicated Saturday, June 20th, as Father-Daughter Day. On this special day, all fathers and their daughters are invited to enjoy a day at the ballpark. There will also be an opportunity to participate in a pregame parade. To purchase specially priced tickets, visit whitesox.com/dad. Now meeting at the mound, and they're talking about the possibility, at least, of Carlos Correa laying one down and how they want to defend it.
Carlos struck out his first trip. So a couple of sliders and a fastball got it.
That's his entire minor league career. This year even more impressive as he wended his way through Double and Triple A. He hit .335.
Takes first pitch strike. So Carlos Rodon Jumps out on top of Carlos Correa. 0-2.
He got him on a very good slider down and in the first time up. That coming leading off the second inning.
Just got a piece of it.
I'd like to see him at 0-2 go way out of the zone, preferably burying one in the dirt, because you'd have to figure Correa was a big run producer in the minor leagues. He is a little over anxious here, and this is his second major league start.
Off the bat of Correa. Wow!
You don't have to be fast to play third base, but you've got to have lightning quick reflexes. This time to Gordon's left. A rocket of a line drive, keeping it out of left field, making sure that there is no run up on the board. Great play by Gordon Beckham.
So a catch by Cabrera. Catch by Beckham. And here is Conger. Yanks that one foul. Big hack in the count, 0-2.
This is that quick late breaking slider. He buries it inside, and Conger swings over the top.
That's just a little bit low. 1-2 the count, 1 out, 2 on here in the top of the fourth. Totals on the board identical at no runs, 3 hits, and no errors.
Pitch number 72 forthcoming. Hank was with the Angels last year. Traded over on November 5th. The Astros love the fact that he's a switch hitting catcher.
2-2. Was way up on top, and now it is full. And he just did get a piece of that one. Big pitch coming up. And that'll load him up.
Going to bring out Don Cooper, and he wants to have a word with his young left-hander. He got Valbuena on a slider, striking him out the first time he saw him. That ended the second inning.
Tucker at third, Carter at second, and Conger at first. Now that play by Beckham. Really looming large.
Through with the bases loaded, not particularly good for Valbuena, but one of the things that's encouraging for the Sox, he leads the team in grounding into double plays. He's done it 9 times. A tough jam for the young left-hander here in the 4th.
Just off the plate, and the count 2-0. Goes through it right there. That one at 94.
And Daniel Webb loosening quickly in the pen.
And the count 3-1.
After Valbuena is 4 consecutive right-hand hitters.
A full count.
Good
just
fastball
at the bottom of the zone.
Well, Valbuena tried to convince Larry Vanover that it wasn't there, and that one was a good strike. Our Honda pitch tracks will show you at 95 miles an hour.
Yes, we'll see what they want to try to do right here. He went through a fastball right there earlier. And he struck him out on a slider the first time.
But that time he hung that slider over the middle of the plate, and Valbuena, who doesn't walk too often, in fact just 16 times, and knocking at the door at 200 at bats. Unfortunately, he swung and fouled that one straight back.
Those getting me over 3-2 breaking balls have a tendency to go a long way.
That went flush off the mask at Tyler Flowers. This is another one of those sliders that stays right there. Tyler taking the brunt of it.
Once again, the payoff pitch. And that's fouled back. Sox took the opener last night 3-1 behind Chris Sale.
Yep.
And right here, the payoff. He gone!
He just reached back and got 96 right down the middle, and we'll take a look at the sequence. It was a good at bat by Valbuena. as he looks at one down. That one on the outside corner. Swings for a fastball before going to 3-1. Taking a fastball. Fouled it back. Fouled it back to sliders. Fouled the third slider back. And then here comes the heat. Throws it right by him. Big strikeout.
Well, Valbuena had his chances. He had 4 good pitches to hit in that at bat.
Kept fouling him off.
First pitch strike to Jake Marisnick. Hit a ball hard down to Abreu at first. So Valbuena got nobody to blame but himself. And the count 0-2.
Tough Tyler does call for that slider. He's got to be ready to dig it out of the dirt. In a scoreless ball game, you got a run standing 90 feet away and the base is loaded.
At 97.
He's had to work very hard this inning. About to deliver his 31st pitch, his 88th in 4 innings of work.
Alexei over to Bunny, and he pitches out of it. They threaten, they cannot score after 3.5. Still no score. Against the Rays, so join us for the first pitch at 6 right here on Comcast Sportsnet. We will conclude this series with Houston on Wednesday, have an off day Thursday, then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday down in Tampa. Finish it off with 2 in Pittsburgh on Monday and Tuesday. Here we go, bottom of the 4th inning. It'll be Avi, Soto, and Cabrera. Avi singles sharply into right field for our first hit, leading off the 2nd inning. Takes ball 1. That ball hit hard but foul. Just checking out some other scores for you. Bottom of the 7th in Cleveland, 2-1 Seattle. As the count moves to 2-1. Bottom of the 7th in Detroit, 6-0 Tigers over the Cubs. Bottom of the 5th in Minnesota, 1-0 Kansas City. 2-2. Top of the 7th in Baltimore, no score as they host the Carmines. After 8 in Pittsburgh, 3-1 Milwaukee. Count hangs at 2-2. Yankees leading Washington 4-1. That's in the bottom of the 7th. In the Bronx, Bryce Harper has homered, number 20 for the lone Nat Talley. As he gets Avi one out.
Sox fans, the first 20,000 fans on Saturday, June 20th, will receive a White Sox baseball cap presented by the Private Bank. The Private Bank, we solve for X. Purchase your tickets today by visiting whitesox.com/promos.
Here's Gio. Soto singles sharply after Ozzie had led off the second with a single. In fact, if you're just tuning in, we had the bases loaded, nobody out, and could not cross home plate. That's inside. 2-1. Bottom of the 7th in Tampa Bay, 5-2 Angels. Checks it up, takes a strike. Toronto hitting in the bottom of the 9th inning, trailing Miami 3-2. And to count 3-2 to Soto. Got it. Close pitch.
Well, Gio thought it was down. You can make a case for it to go either way, but he gets the benefit of the call from Larry Vanover. Keuchel not afraid to throw any type of breaking pitch on any count. Gio thought that was below where it should be, but Vanover with the deciding vote. 2 up, 2 strikeouts.
So Robbins' expression in the background as there's a strike to Cabrera, who ripped a single in the left field. That was the only bad thing about after Ivy laid it off with a single. Soto's was right at, for the most part, Springer. You're not going to run on him. And Cabrera ripped that one in the left field right at Tucker.
This is one of the big problems with not getting a sinker baller early. And that is that the sinker starts to work. And the last 8 in a row have been set down by Keuchel.
Three strikeouts, 2 pop-ups, and 3 ground balls. There's a chopper, 2 hopper, Altuve, and that's 9 in a row retired by Dallas Keuchel.
Started off with a base hit to center by Tucker. Then after hitting Carter, a rocket of a line drive that Gordon's able to stab. After a walk to Congress, he struck out Valbuena, got an easy ground ball, got out of a bases loaded situation. However, a whole lot of pitches. And as you can see, pretty impressive numbers. He's going to deliver his 89th pitch, so it's not going to be a particularly long outing for him, but to this point, it's been very effective.
Top of the order here in the top of the fifth, Springer, Altuve, and Gaddis.
Springer got a fastball down and in, and he doubled in the second inning. Fortunately, he stayed right there.
Alexei's got it.
June 17th is NIU night at U.S. Cellular Field. Purchase specially priced tickets and show off your Husky pride as the Sox take on the Pirates. Northern Illinois University, your future, our network. Purchase your tickets today by visiting whitesox.com/NIU.
So here's the diminutive second baseman, Jose Altuve, a grounder to short and a strikeout.
Fortunately, out ahead of it a little too quickly.
That's tough on that one down and in. That's what he struck out on back in the third.
2 straight nights he's seen some of the toughest sliders in the major leagues back to back. One coming from a guy you certainly would expect it from, and that was Chris Sale, but they've had one look at Rodon, who threw the ball very well against him. And once again, throwing it pretty well here tonight.
Little soft looper. 2 out. So here's Gaddis, Evan, with a hard single to right and a grounder to second.
With 2 out, nobody on, Gaddis, who is a home run hitter, but not a great hitter for average, is thinking about hitting the ball out of the park. So he's looking for something middle in, and for him, preferably thigh high or lower. When Houston went to Atlanta to get Evan Gaddis, it was strictly as a designated hitter. And he can drive in some runs. He's going to drive in a lot of runs.
He's got the catbird seat. 2 balls, no strikes. Carlos has got him. He needed that. A quick 1-2-3 inning. We're halfway home. 0-3-0 for them, 0-3-0 for us. Hi there, Chuck. Thank you very much, buddy. As we get set to go to our half of the 5th inning, it'll be the lower third of our order. Beckham, Flowers, and Bonifacio. Face the 27-year-old southpaw, Dallas Keuchel.
Bucks are trying to do something that nobody's done in the last 20 innings against Keuchel, and that's get an extra base hit.
Gordon 0 for 1. He popped up to center field.
Pretty amazing in the major leagues these days to go 20 straight innings without giving up an extra base hit, but Keuchel keeps the ball down very well.
Finale of this series tomorrow night. It'll be Jose Quintana against Vincent Velasquez making his major league debut. And I was talking to some Houston coaches prior to the game. They said this young man hits 100. That's a fair ball, a long peg.
Only thing that's been able to stop Velasquez in his career has been injuries. He's got a big arm, and he's the hardest throwing pitcher in their organization, as you look at a very good play by Valbuena. Long throw across, gets it there in plenty of time.
It was a David Eckstein throw. It's like when he turned it loose, it was going in the seats.
It's just enough. It settles into the first baseman's glove.
Tyler struck out. Yeah, so Quintana against Velasquez. Can't make it to the ballpark. That game will be over WPWR. And the off day on Thursday, and then off to Tampa Bay, where we're going to run Danks, Samardzija, and Sale out there against the Rays. Just did get a piece of the corner.
When you're around the plate with just about everything, you're going to get the benefit of those calls. If you're all over the place, well, you're not going to.
Full count. And that's ball 4. That's the first walk issued by Keuchel.
Tried a slider on the last 2 pitches, neither of which he was able to throw over the plate.
Here's Emilio. He's into a 5-4 fielder's choice to end the 2nd inning. And don't forget about Saturday, June 20th. Christine O'Reilly's Picnic in the Park. Carlton Fisk, Bill Melton, Ron Kittle, along with the current White Sox team, will all be in attendance. There's the strike. Fans can enjoy autographs, dinner, photo opportunities, and a question and answer session. That strike and the count 0-2. Good eye, just low. Gap out there, nice gap out there in right center if he can find it. Shooting it that way, but underneath it. Another full count. Adam on deck. Slowly hit left side. Bueno up with it. They get to force. No Flowers. 2 down.
White Sox fans, show your Sox pride when you open a new White Sox checking account and debit card with your local Wintrust Community Bank. Wintrust is a proud supporter of Chicago White Sox charities and will donate $25 for every account opened this season. Visit wintrust.com/youdecide for details.
So here's Adam. Adam is grounded to third, and he is grounded to second. Takes first pitch strike.
Been only 2 outfield putouts against Keuchel with 2 outs here in the 5th. Line drive by Abreu. And a fly ball off the bat of Beckham.
To the count. There's a chopper 2 hopper, and that'll do it. We got 3 hits in this ball game, all coming in the second inning, and nobody has scored. Kip Lewis for a special taping of Beer Money from 6 to 9 at Pinheads in Yorkville. Come out for the fun, test your sports trivia knowledge, and you could win big. Beer Money, presented by Coors Light. Top of the 6th inning, Tucker, Carter, and Correa. Preston Tucker has walked, and he has singled sharply into center field. Totals on the board still identical at 0, 3, and 0. First pitch strike. And prior to the game tonight, it was Navy night here at US Cellular Field. There were 88 naval recruits from throughout the Chicagoland area being sworn into the Navy on the field. And the White Sox are one of 2 major league clubs, as that's fouled away, to host the Navy Recruit Division enlistment, and this is the 30th consecutive season. The Sox have hosted Navy Recruit Division that will be known as Chicago White Sox Division. 88 recruits. Melky. Souvenir.
Chris Heston, the San Francisco Giants, has a no-hitter against the Mets with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning, leading 5-0. The only drama is that final out. Giants continue to produce a whole lot of pitching and some surprising baseball.
Well, the Giants have one of the best managers in the game. All he does is win.
Managers and general managers, and it's a potent combination when they both communicate and really do their job well. Ryan Sabian is terrific.
There you go.
Good fastball. I think he surprised Tucker. It's right down the middle. He had to be guessing slider. He didn't get it.
So here's Carter. He was robbed of a base hit and possibly a couple of RBIs by Melky Cabrera to end the first inning. He also was hit by a pitch in the 4th. Yeah, I've known Brian a long time. He's done a terrific job. Brian was originally with the Yankees. Checks it up 2-0. High. Real high. 2 down.
Join White Sox Charities at a season to remember, a night with the 2005 World Series champions on Saturday, July 19th at the Chicago Theater. Hear directly from members of the 2005 team as they take a look back on their historic World Series run. To purchase tickets, visit whitesoxcharities.org.
So here's Correa, a strikeout, and then a line out on one of the 2 big plays of this ball game. First one was play by Cabrera of Carter, and watch Gordon Beckham here. That ball was absolutely killed.
A.J. Hinch, talking about Carlos Correa, said that he's got tremendous presence for such a young player, that he would anticipate he's going to be a very good one. Doesn't know how it'll start out for him, but he knows one thing: he's not afraid of anything. Heston has thrown a no-hitter for the Giants in New York against the Mets.
And there's a base hit in the left field. So the 2-out single.
$110 pitches, and here comes Don Cooper. He wants to talk to him about what they want to do with Conger. Probably going to tell him at this point, look, you're not going to go beyond this inning, so whatever you have, let's see it. Let's get out of this inning. Daniel Webb continues to loosen up, and on a very warm and humid night in Chicago, he's pretty loose at this point.
Carlos Rodon just continues to grow and impress.
When you draft somebody in the first round with the third pick, with the credentials that he had at North Carolina State, you have to figure he's pretty good. The question is, how fast will he get here? It was answered. He got here very quickly. And how fast will he become a top of the rotation starter? And it looks like he's on his way to doing just that.
So here's Hank Conger. He is lined to Cabrera, and he has walked. First pitch strike. Oh, and 2 the count. Outfield straight up, spread out about equidistant. Pitch, ate him up inside.
He reached back and got whatever he had left, which was 96 in on the hands, and Conger just able to stay alive on Honda pitch tracks. A pretty good location for that one. Conger a bit tardy.
Chops that one foul. We have no runs on 3 hits. All 3 of those hits coming successively back in the second. Garcia, Soto, and Cabrera all singled. Bases loaded, nobody out, could not score. They have 4 hits. 3 singles and a double. There he goes. So he will pick up his first Major League stolen base.
Not a particularly good throw to second. Correa going on first move. A good throw has a chance.
Good throw gets him. Into center field. Outfield to the right. Hit him on the fist, popped him up. Abreu taking charge, makes the catch, and that'll retire the side. So Carlos Rodon has gone 6 very strong innings.
against the Mets. He completed it. Giants win 5-0. Didn't walk anybody while fanning 11. He hit 3 batters and used 110 pitches. Unbelievable performance, and he went the distance.
Our half of the 6th, it'll be Ramirez, Abreu, and Garcia to face Dallas Keuchel.
That most likely is going to be it for Carlos Rodon, who threw a whole lot of pitches, but wended his way through 6 on just 4 hits. And he had to be that good because his mound opponent, Keuchel, has not given the Sox a run this year in this a start and a half.
He did not go. That's going to be in the seats for a souvenir. Top of the 9th in Cleveland, 3-1 Seattle. Top of the 9th in Detroit, 6-0 Tigers over the Cubs.
Alexi on the backswing got a good piece of Hank Conger. And we've seen Alexi do this a few times. Was probably fortunate to hit the mask and not the back of the head or side of the head. Ask him if he's okay. He said, yeah. As soon as my vision clears up.
A ball and 2 strikes. All right, Chopper. Michael knows he's got to hurry, and he can't get it. Good effort by Keuchel. Now he's sort of gimps for a second, but he's all right.
He thought he had a shot at him. Might have been better served to let this ball bounce and see if it had rolled foul. But a good athletic play by Keuchel. Lexi's speed, just an eyelash too much. Infield hit.
Probably the hardest throw that Keuchel has made tonight.
Won a Gold Glove last year, and he's one of the best fielders in all of baseball, so he figures he should make every play. That one just hit a touch too high for him.
Here's Abreu. He's 0 for 2. Takes first pitch strike. Center field. Stretch. Stretch. You can put it on the ball. Yes. Yes. He just one-handed that one out of here to right center. And the Sox lead it 2-0.
Dallas Keuchel, the toughest man in the major leagues to take out of the ballpark, has now given up his 4th home run of the year. It's our 4th home run replay, and even though he kept this ball down, Jose was able to get under it. A line drive rocket, just barely over the wall, but over it enough. And the Sox have the lead, our 4th home run replay, and it was a dandy.
That is one. There's a ball hit into the hole. Gray up with it. That gun of his gets him, so 1 out. Mucho fuerte. He is very strong. Man.
Normally you wouldn't expect this one to go out of the park. I'm pretty sure Keuchel did. throw a ground ball. Not so, as the big man puts the Sox on top.
And, of course, with that home run by Abreu, the Alex Nellius family with another generous donation to White Sox charities in loving memory of Ursula. Alex Snellius and family. That's off the corner. That's our 40th home run. And there's a strike for a 3-1 count. Souvenir for a full count. Got him. Just caught a corner.
Join the free WhiteSox.com blacklist for exclusive White Sox content all year long, including news and video updates, ticket offers, breaking alerts, and more. Visit WhiteSox.com/blacklist to register today.
So here's Melky. He's 1 for 2. A bullet single to left and a ground ball to second. One and two. It's full. And that's ball 4. So the second walk issued by Keuchel, and that'll bring up Beckham, who is 0 for 2. Fly ball to center and a grounder to third. Square him up, Gordon. Ball hit hard. Good foul. Gordon with a brilliant play at third base. Altuve, Correa, but the 2-run homer by Jose Abreu. We're into the 7th. We lead it 2-0.
He had a good slider most of the night. Got out of some very tough jams. Left the bases loaded once. And when he had to make a big pitch, he did. So a good night by the youngster, and he will leave the ball game in favor of Zach Putnam, who's on for the 20th time. Record 1-1, ERA 4.08. Last inning of work was 3 up, 3 strikeouts. As he had some thumb problems, they are healed now, and things going pretty well with 26 strikeouts in 17 2/3 innings.
2-0 good guys here in the top of the 7th inning. 2-5-0 for us, 0-4-0 for them. He's got Valbuena, Marisnik, and Springer. Outfield. Slightly to the right. Avi deep and right as he takes first pitch strike. Bueno didn't particularly care for the slants of Carlos Rodon.
No, he fooled him with just about everything.
0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Checks it up, takes the strike. So the count 1-2.
Colby Rasmus in the on-deck circle. He'll come on to pinch hit for Marisnik.
Just got a piece of it. Checks it up, says Big Carapazza. We had a very strong game behind the plate last night.
Jake Petrichka loosening in the pen in case there's any problems.
Full count. Ball hit hard, but we got a man there. That's a hang woofle, and 1 out. Playing imperfectly.
That'll bring up Colby Rasmus, who was St. Louis Cardinals' first-round draft pick in 2005. He also broke Bo Jackson's Alabama State single-season record with 24 home runs. Very highly thought of. He has bounced around in recent years.
Marisnik was 0 for 2 as Colby takes first pitch strike. He first burst on the scene with St. Louis in 2009, and in 2010 he hit some absolute prodigious home runs. Count evens. He and word was he and Tony La Russa did not see eye to eye. So 3 years in St. Louis, 9, 10, and 11, then 12, 13, and 14. Actually, he went to St. Louis in 11, second half, and then 3.5 years in Toronto.
Biggest problem this year is lack of contact. 57 strikeouts in 169 plate appearances. That's a third of the time. A full-time player's major league average is under 20%.
He stands right on top of the plate. One of the closest hitters in the league to the plate as that pitch is down. And when you do that and you're struggling, you better wise up and back off the plate a little bit. But we have never seen him stand anywhere but right on top of that plate.
Let's go, guys. Coming your way.
Tyler, good play.
Fortunately, that one was not far enough in front of the plate, and Tyler was able to bounce out. And even though Rasmus has pretty good speed, he wasn't able to beat Tyler. If that ball gets maybe a foot on the grass, he's able to beat the play. It didn't, and he didn't.
Well, being down 2-0 with 2 strikes, 2-2 count. Good concept. Didn't work. Here's Springer. George is 1 for 3, a double back in the 3rd inning. For a guy who stands right on top of the plate, especially a left-handed hitter against right-handed pitching. He's in a constant state of one mindset, and that's looking inside. And that's that's the second worst place a hitter can be. The first, of course, is being in between. 1-2 the count with 2 out here in the top of the 7th. The great Ted Williams always said, if you're struggling, back off the plate so you can see the ball a little longer. I would say Rasmus right now is probably a 54, 55-foot hitter. He gone. Good inning right there for Zach. 7th inning stretch. We lead it 2-0.
You take a look at what he's done over the last 8 games. He's only hit .515 with 5 home runs and 14 driven in. As you can see, when the Rockies clubbed the Cardinals, he was 2 for 4 with a homer, drove in 3 and scored 2. And Tulowitzki is often mentioned in trade talks. Colby Rasmus stays in the game to play center field.
Flowers, Bonifacio, then back to the top of the order with Adam Eaton here in our half of the 7th inning. That's off the outside corner. Tyler has struck out and he has walked. That's the final now from Comerica Park. Tigers shut out the Cubs 6-0. Lester the loser, Sanchez the winner. Two and one. The final now from Progressive Field in Cleveland. Seattle beats the Indians 3-2. Top of the 8th in Minnesota. Kansas City leads the Twins 1-0. And the count 3-1. Right back through the middle. So a good way to start. And here's Emilio. Ronnie twice has hit into a 5-4 fielder's choice. Nice gap out there in right center if he can find it. Valbuena in on the grass at third as he makes the bunt and takes the strike.
Be a good time to tack another one on, and with it, Emilio thinking about laying one down, moving along Tyler.
Pops at it, chops at it, and the count 0-2. It's easy to see why this man is a very, very good pitcher. Good sinker. He'll straighten up right-handers with a four-seamer inside. The man knows what he's doing. In that 3-2 Seattle win over Cleveland, Yan Gomes, 2 home runs for the Tribe to account for their 2 talents.
Tribe really missed something when Gomes was out. He not only is a pretty good offensive player, but he's one of the leaders of that team and handles the pitching staff exceptionally well.
There he goes. There's the.
I think he's going to call him out. I think it's going to be a double play.
Yeah.
I think it's interference at the plate.
He went across the plate. And a good call by Larry Vano.
A smart catcher at any opportunity is going to try to get a piece of the batter when he makes a throw. And Bonifacio stepped right in the middle of the plate. That was an easy call.
So quickly 2 out. It was a concept, not a good one, but it was a concept. Off the glove. Correa now is not going to be able to do anything, so that'll be an infield single.
That probably aggravates Keuchel as much as anything tonight. because he has a Gold Glove for a reason, and he thinks that he should make this play, especially glove side. If that's to the throwing side, that's one thing, but to the glove side, that's a play he would normally make.
And that's the Mark Burley syndrome. As here is Alexa. He's 1 for 3. He had an infield single, scored. That was last inning.
Chad Qualls loosening in the pen.
First pitch strike. Keuchel out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Also is a quarterback in football. That's fisted high, and watch out.
Nice effort by Tucker, but that ball just out of reach. And fortunately, he was able to get down before leaping into the seats.
The 0-2. That's into center field. That's kind of corner. And that'll retire the side. We do get a couple of hits in the inning. An interference call. We strand one, and we're into the 8th, leading 2-0.
Top 200 prospects in the draft. A left-hander, a tall one out of Clemson. He's 6'4". Then they got Corey Stevens, a right-hander out of Rice. Corey Zingari out of Oklahoma, a high school pitcher, high school first baseman. And then they got Blake Hickman, right-handed pitcher out of Iowa. Corey Schroeder, a catcher from Coastal Carolina. Then Ryan Hinchley, left-hander out of UIC right here. And then Jackson Glines, an outfielder out of Michigan. And we've talked about Carson Fulmer, the #1 pick. And they had to wait a while and hoping to find some gold in the later rounds. So we've got a new pitcher coming in the ball game. And it is Jake Petrichka. Jake's been throwing it pretty well lately. On for the 23rd time. A 1-1 record. 3.79 ERA. Only 6 walks in 19 innings.
He's got Altuve, Gaddis, and Tucker. Takes first pitch strike. One and one to count.
Altuve just ecstatic he doesn't have to face two of the better left-handed sliders around because he fanned 3 times in 2 nights. And he struck out less than 10% of the time this year.
Bonnie's got him. And a big out.
It's time to cast your vote for the 2015 MLB All-Star Game starting lineup. Go to WhiteSox.com and cast your vote through Assurance MLB All-Star Game ballot on your computer, tablet, or smartphone. Vote at WhiteSox.com now. Be sure to catch all of the excitement of the 86th Major League All-Star Game July 14th live on Fox. Remember, you can vote up to 35 times online.
Gaddis 1 for 3, a single. Boy, he's powerful swing. Powerful, powerful swing.
The appeal, and nothing doing with Guerra, recently recalled to the minor leagues, and Duke throwing in the pen.
One and two the count. Joey Votto hit 3 home runs. That's his 3rd career 3 home run game. Cincinnati beats the Phillies 11-2. He gone. 2 down.
When Jake has his good sinker going, he's tough to hit. And Robin thinks that that's enough, so he's going to go to the pen against Tucker. At least the scheduled hitter is Tucker, and here comes Zach Duke. So as he comes strolling in, we'll walk out and be back after these messages. With the pen a little short on left-handers, but the rotation not. Zach Duke comes in. On for the 25th time. 2-2 is ERA, a touch above 3.5. Pretty good numbers overall. And he's just on for one hitter.
Well, if HA is going to start him against Rodon, he's going to let him hit against Zach Duke. So here is Tucker. A walk, a single, a hard single to center, and a strikeout. Two and one to count. Albert Pujols homered tonight, tying Mickey Mantle with his 536th career home run. What a career Albert has had. Wow. No walks.
Junior Guerra and David Robertson loosening in the pen, as if Tucker gets on, Carter is the tying run.
And a full count. Get over there. He will, and that'll retire the side. So some good relief work. They'll take care of him here in the 8th. We lead it 2-0.
Game, so the night is done for Dallas Keuchel as Chad Qualls comes on for the 23rd time. He's 1-3. His ERA 4.43. He's only walked 3. Left-handers haven't done much with him, but right-handers have really hurt him, and he's given up 3 home runs. He's been asked to save 6 games. He's been successful 4 times.
So here is Abreu. Jose, 1 for 3. 2-run homer.
Just like we promised you earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. And in the sixth, they did something that's only been done 3 other times this year. Hit a home run off Dallas Keuchel, and that's the difference in the game.
One to count. Ivy on deck. And Soto in the hole. And there's a good way to start it.
They usually put a shift on Jose, or they play him certainly up the middle. And with the right side vacated, he just starts it off with a little ground ball through the vacated area.
So here's obviously Hill. He's 1 for 3. That single leading off the second inning. Big gap out there in left center. First and 30, Mobby. He's got the catbird seat at 2-0. Turn him loose. Taking all the way and takes the wheelhouse right there. Count is full.
He got the fastball he was looking for there. He got it on the outer third, but unfortunately couldn't keep it between the lines. Balls was a sinker baller, gets that one up, and for him that's a dangerous spot.
Nothing Sox here in the bottom of the 8th inning. There he goes. And there's a base hit. He'll make the turn. Here's the throw. It's cut off. Runners at the corners and nobody out.
Once again, Quall's got the ball up, and if he's going to keep it there with his velocity these days, he's going to have some problems. Because a sinker baller who gets the ball waist high or above throws a lot of line drives. And with Jose going, he picks up the baseball. Good piece of base running. And you don't have to be a burner to be a good base stealer. He was able to pick up the baseball, realize it was in right field, knowing that Springer couldn't possibly throw him out, and a chance to put a little insurance up.
So here's Giovanni. Giovanni singled back in the second. He's 1 for 3 tonight. Infield in. Not too hard, not too much. Just don't turn the head of that bat over, Gio. There he goes. They're going to throw it through, but not nearly in time. Bobby picks up his second stolen base.
There's no doubt that he's going to steal a lot more this year as he picks a good pitch to run, a breaking ball. And not much of a chance as Conger can't get it there near in time.
$18,439. And the 1-1. Stay on it, Gio. Don't pull off of it. Take him right back off that mound. Conger's pretty good behind that plate. And once again, a reminder, make your plans to be with us tomorrow night, finale of this 3-game set. Jose Quintana against Vincent Velasquez, making his major league debut. They tell us that Velasquez hits 100 a lot. If you can't, that game will be over WPWR.
Been over giving some time to Conger because his glove came off and that ball hit him in his catching hand. It's most unusual. You don't see it very much, but they're having a talk with him now. And Larry Vanover did a good thing as you watch it again. Might have gotten him in the wrist. But whatever it is, he's shaking it off and staying in the game, as catchers are a very tough breed.
And the 2-2 pitch. It's full. Melky on deck. And that's ball 4. That will load him up.
Conger now going out to have a word with Qualls, as this one is in danger of being broken open. And the Houston bullpen up and going. It's Josh Fields.
Second time tonight we have had sacks packed with Sox and nobody out. First time was back in the second inning and we could not score. So here's Melky. Melky is 1 for 2.
Pretty good numbers with the bases loaded over the course of Melky's career, and he's hitting from his best side, the left side.
Well, that's going to get the job done. Get over his head. It will. Here comes 1. Here comes 2. Gio on his way to third. Sox lead at 4-0. Yeah.
2 for 3 for Melky. He drives in runs 19 and 20, and Qualls gets the ball up again. We told you about sinker ballers who get the ball waist high or above. They're in trouble. Driving this ball over Tucker's head. He was playing fairly shallow. That's going to be it for Qualls. It's a 4-0 game. And that's going to be it for Qualls as he departs. So as Fields comes in, we'll step out and be back after these messages. Fields. Josh is 2-1 this year. A fine ERA of 2.40 on for the 17th time. Only given up 9 hits in 15 innings. He's fanned 25. He's got a pretty good and deceptive fastball. He usually throws it straight over the top. It looks a bit harder than it is, but he can get it there anywhere 94, 95 normally.
Well, once again, the infield end. And here's Gordon.
Conger's having a tough night behind the plate as a few of these Astro pitchers have buried the ball in the dirt, and he's been stopping everything.
That was one of the easier ones he's had to stop right there. That ball found him. Gap out there in left center. Count evens at 1. Big pitch right there goes Gordon's way. 2 balls and a strike. Right here, 15. Right here. To the count. Good eye right at the bottom of the zone.
This is close. Gordon decides to lay off on his 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Conger tries to bring it back into the zone, but Vanover would have none of it.
And that will load him up. So here's Tyler. Tyler's 1 for 2. He singled to lead off last inning.
So Richie Dower, the first base coach, talking with A.J. Hinch.
Sox packed with White Sox. Once again, nobody out. Outside edge of the outside corner.
Tyler shaking his head, but realizing he can't take too long to talk with Larry Vanover, but he is letting him know he felt this one was outside and he's got a point.
Vic Carapazza had a good game last night. Vanover's had a good game tonight. Checks it up. He did not go.
Melky having a big night, and that was a huge double here in the 8th inning.
Melky, if you're just tuning in, made a beautiful catch, saving at least one run. Off the bat of Chris Carter to end the first inning. 1-2. Melky got us on the board last night. Right off the bat in the second inning with an RBI single. Or 10-0 for us. 0-4-0 for them. Two balls, two strikes.
And that one almost got away.
Tyler just trying to make some contact. Good eye. Full count. All started with that single by Abreu. Abreu was on the move. Single by Javi. The walk to Soto. And the two-run double by Melky Cabrera. Sox trying to make it 4-1 over Houston. Time is called. And once again the payoff pitch. One out.
This one in the zone, and he throws a fastball by it. And Emilio with an opportunity with the bases loaded.
Emilio is due. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Pretty good rip. Meanwhile, 0-1 the count. Good pitch to hit. Fields just coming right at him in the count, 0-2. Boy, a huge gap out there in right center. Outfield short, swung around to the left. And Conger keeps it in front of him. Just joining us, Carlos Rodon went 6 strong innings. Threw a lot of pitches, giving up no runs, 4 hits, 2 walks, had 5 strikeouts.
116 pitches, which is a career high for Carlos Rodon.
Lays off that one upstairs, so the count 2-2. But the Sox have done some pitching tonight, thrown some leather. Got the 2-run homer from Abreu. That was in the 6th inning of Dallas Keuchel. Just the 4th home run that Keuchel has thrown this year. Got him. 2 down.
This ball had a piece of the zone on our Toyota pitch tracks.
We are having some problems with the bases loaded and nobody out. Except for Melky.
And Adam can put an end to that also with a base hit here. And this would blow this one apart.
Adam is 1 for 4. Goes through that 95-mile-an-hour fastball. That one at 96. Looks at that delivery. That might be everything he's got. He did not go. Josh Fields comes on, strikes out the side, but the big double by Melky Cabrera knocks in a pair, and we lead it 4-0. Ninth inning, 4-10-0 for us, 0-4-0 for them. Rodon pitched strong, as did Dallas Keuchel. Keuchel went 7 innings, giving up the 2-run homer to Abreu, 7 hits, 2 walks, had 5 strikeouts, and once again was very, very impressive, as was our Rodon. So here we go. Carter, Correa, and Conger.
In a non-safe situation, Zach Duke stays in the game.
Takes that pitch outside. Chris is 0 for 2. He was robbed of that base hit, an RBI, at least one RBI by Cabrera to end the first inning. And that's, turns out right now, that's probably the biggest play of the game. Yeah, high pop up. Bobby. Now they throw to second base, and they don't get it.
That one was up for a month. And unfortunately, nobody could make the play. It goes as a double. A ringing endorsement for what a lot of people have talked about being a team error.
So here's Correa. He is 1 for 3, and he was robbed of a base hit on a stunning play by Beckham. And that came with 2 on and nobody out. There's strike 1. Years old, his second major league game, and that is high and deep into left field. And very quickly, it's a 4-2 ball game on his first major league home run.
Give you an idea of how strong this young man is, and he didn't get all of that, but he got enough of it. So it's been 2 games of firsts for Carlos Correa. First major league home run. He's now driven in 3 runs. His first multi-hit game, and our Ford home run replay. It's a towering fly ball that just keeps on going. And just like that, it is a save situation.
So Robin out to the mound. He has made the call to the bullpen, and congrats from everybody to that young 20-year-old youngster, number 2 ranked prospect in all of baseball. So Luke's dad comes on as Zach departs, and we'll be back.
But it is a save situation is David Robertson on for the 24th time. 4-1 is ERA, 2.19. He's been successful. 11 of 14 save opportunities with 37 strikeouts and 24 2/3 innings. He saved the ball game for Chris Sale last night. That was his 11th. And he'll try to pick up number 12 here with 3 outs, protecting a 2-run lead.
High towering pop-up by Chris Carter that falls in between the converging center fielder, right fielder, and second baseman for the double, and then the homer by Carlos Correa. The first what appears to be many in that young 20-year-old shortstop's career, and it's a 4-2 ball game. So here's Conger. He's 0 for 2 with a walk.
He'll turn around and hit from the left side, which is his best side.
First pitch strike. That's a little low. Close, didn't get it.
Tries that fastball, which looks like a cutter. Inside, a little too far inside.
And there's a base hit. So now the tying run comes to the plate.
Conger got a fastball middle in and down, and he hit it into right field for a base hit. So now you've got one of their leading home run hitters. In fact, tied for the team lead as the tying run.
Valbuena has faced David twice. He's 0 for 2. Last time up, hit a bullet right to Avi. Right field. Hit hard but foul. And if you're just tuning in, we've had the bases loaded 3 times tonight with nobody out and could not do anything with it. Thank goodness for that one time with Melky Cabrera and the double. And then the 2-run homer by Abreu earlier. But now things getting a little tight. 1-2. Colby Rasmus on deck. Two and two the count. That is high into right field and deep. We got a man there. And that is what you call a just missed.
Fortunately, he gets under this one. And there is enough room. So now you have another home run hitter up in Rasmus.
And another one following him. Rasmus has been to the plate one time. Had a 2-2 count, tried to bunt it, and Tyler threw him out.
Hasn't had much luck career-wise against David Robertson. Hoping that continues.
To the count.
A couple of curveballs missed by a wide margin.
He gone. 2 down.
No real reason for a setup pitch. 3 straight curveballs. He missed them all by plenty. And now David Robertson 1 out away. The third of 3. And they were both pretty much in the same spot. All 3 of them right there.
No hangers in that bunch. But don't ease up. Here's Springer. He's 1 for 4, a double. He has 8 homers. Runner, indifference. Two and 0.
And their best hitter is in the on-deck circle.
This team has 79 home runs. Our White Sox has 40. See what? There's a strike.
Springer was on his way to first base before Larry Vanover called him back. Had to caught a break there.
Time was called. Another strike. And Springer does not like it one bit.
And Vanover not too pleased himself. Well, you would think that if this is close, the young man better be swinging. This was actually closer than the last pitch.
That was right. That had part of the zone. Meanwhile, 2 out, 3 and 2. And the payoff. That ball hit into right field. We got a man there. Yes, and this ball game is over. So David Robertson, Luke's dad, comes on, nails it down. And Steve, Carlos Rodon and the bullpen were awesome.
Thought Carlos Rodon had to really work for it tonight. He threw 6 shutout innings. He threw a whole lot of pitches, but he got out of it against a first-place ball club. And we're seeing the emergence of what appears to be, Hawk, a great young player in Carlos Correa.
And let's check out our player of the game. It is our 22-year-old southpaw, Carlos Rodon, going 6 innings, no runs, 4 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, our player of the game. So for my partner, Steve Stone, our director, Jim Ancio, our producer, Mike Leary, it's great to have him back. Our associate producer, Dave Ross, it's great to have him back. Our technical manager, our superb technical manager, Mark Harper. And also for the mayor, Mean Joe Groove, for Mike Mayer, Frank D'Amato, Frank Leone, Doug Bullard. This is the Hawk. So long, everybody. Coming up next, it'll be the Subaru postgame line with Chuck and Bill, and you have been watching Chicago White Sox baseball right here